Hi guys, Firmbie with you, and welcome to Car Mechanic Simulator 2015. It's great to have your company. Well, it's finally here. The long-awaited Maserati Quatroporte restoration. Now, as I mentioned in previous videos, as soon as it was available in the game, I just had to go and buy one from the auction. Oh yes, she will be mine. So obviously the first step, just to go after the auction and buy the Quattro. Not really caring what I was going to pay for it, but as I said, I really wanted it. So we'll just flick through the restoration. Oh my goodness, the auction here. We're getting up to 48,000. So quite an expensive little car, but it actually has got 3 stars out of 5. So it's a fairly good quality car. So we'll see what we end up paying. We paid $53,052. But as I said, I really wanted it. Fairly good nick, as I said, 3 out of 5 stars. So you would expect most of the parts to be in reasonably good condition. Probably paid too much for it. The car value $44,220. So yeah, probably paid a little bit too much, but oh well. As I said, the parts are fairly good condition, so there shouldn't be too many that we're going to need repairing or replacing. There goes that phone again. Just while we start to get these body panels off and get these restored up, just a quick disclosure guys, while these parts are being removed, I actually had full intentions of getting about 8 or 10 videos out to you by this time. It didn't actually work out that way. See, the thing is, I was actually going away, and the idea was actually, I thought it'd be clever, the idea was to actually record a few games, and while I was away I'd do the editing, so when I returned all I had to do is upload them. Great idea, I thought. Well, you can probably guess it didn't exactly turn out like that. When I went to use the recorded files, some of the files were missing, some of the audio had gone. Look, it was a complete mess. So out of the 10 videos I think I recorded, that I pre-recorded, I think 2 were actually usable. One of which was a match from World of Warships off the top of my head. I think the audio was a bit dodgy as well, but it was usable. And the other one was this particular footage here. So it is what it is. As I said, I tried to get a few videos out while I was away, but didn't actually work out like that. So certainly had good intentions, but just looking forward to getting some more content out for you in the near future. Talking about content, if you're looking for some more car mechanic content, then just pop over to my channel. There's plenty of repairs and restorations for you to enjoy. Repairs and restorations on a wide range of cars from Car Mechanic 2015. While you're there, don't forget to subscribe. It's absolutely free. And of course, it's just a way of not missing out on any future content. So just getting these parts out of the Maserati, of course. And the first thing you notice very easily is actually got twin air filters. What are they? Twin throttles there, are they? Just getting those out as well. Actually, I haven't done a full restoration for a little while, so what I might actually do with this Maserati Quattro is replace the parts with full performance parts. I haven't used those performance parts for quite a while, so it'll be interesting to see how she runs. We might even run it down the test track after we actually repair this up, so and see how she performs. I expect some decent speeds out of this particular one, especially if you put performance parts back in her. The thing about actually purchasing performance parts, you do actually need to watch your bank balance fairly closely. What are we looking at? About 48, just shy of $48,000 though. Of course, the performance parts are more expensive, but it, as the name suggests, it does improve your performance. So if you're looking at, getting down that test track and see how fast you can get the thing going, then are certainly worth doing. But you want to make sure your bank balance is fairly healthy. So as I said, save up as much as you can, have plenty of money in the bank, and get those performance parts in the car there. Get more of these parts out. Looks like the exhaust manifold had a turbo on it by the looks of it. Didn't actually notice that when I was doing it. Speaking of parts and new parts, for those who are look forward to seeing new DLC from Car Mechanic, just jump over to your Steam account, guys. As of yesterday, I think I just had a look at myself now. Yeah, as of yesterday, there's actually new cars being released. Don't know much about it yet, but it appears to be 2 Bentley style cars, 2 Bentley cars. Oh my God, words in English today. I tell you what, guys. 2 Bentley cars. A 2016 Bentley Continental GT Speed and a 1970 T-Series 4-door saloon. So there's 2 cars that have just been released. Haven't got them yet, as they've only been released on Steam as of yesterday. So go and check those out if you want to get into those. More than likely I'll be featuring those in the future. I don't know how long it'll be, but certainly looking at getting my hands on those as quickly as I can. Either as a repair or a restoration on those 2 Bentleys, or even both. I'd say I'd do both eventually. But as I said, they're new to the game. It's the latest DLC released yesterday. That's the 15th of December. It'll cost you $4.79 Australian dollars if you wish to purchase those. $4.79 didgeridoos. I don't know what that equates for your neck of the woods. Just have a look at your Steam, as I said, and that'll soon tell you. But as I said, 2 Bentleys, the 2016 Continental, and the 1970 Bentley T-Series 4-door saloon. So they look quite interesting to have a look as soon as we can. Now, while these parts are coming off, guys, I just wanted to take this opportunity to wish you a very Merry Christmas and a safe and prosperous New Year, just in case I don't get a chance to catch up with you beforehand. So from my family to yours, have a very Merry Christmas and a safe and prosperous New Year. And I hope that 2017 is as exciting and fantastic as 2016 has been. Anyway, let's get back to this build here, and we've still got more parts coming off. And once those parts are off, obviously we're starting the restore them either over to the restoration table. All those parts that can't be restored or repaired, we'll have to purchase brand new parts. As I was saying, we're going to go with performance parts this particular time. I'll probably actually cut the video when we get to that repairing stage, just for the sake of saving a little bit of time as the starter motor and the gearbox is coming out. And what I'll do is bring you back after these parts have actually been repaired or been replaced. So just the last of the motor coming out, we just need to drop the old girl down off the lifter, get these pistons out like so. You can see 8 pistons, obviously being an 8-cylinder motor. Back on the air, and what we got left, a crankshaft or something, isn't it? And then the engine block should be able to come out like that. So that's all the parts out of the old girl. Let's have a look at those parts, as you can see, in a variety of state of disrepair. So I'll just cut it there and bring you back. As I said, here we are with all the parts being repaired, all those parts that I could replace with performance parts I have. Certainly look at those exhaust systems, all chrome, beautiful looking parts. The alternator nice and chrome, even those clips are chrome plated. Ignition coils, good looking ignition coils. Even those pistons look nice, just black pistons that ready to go. And unfortunately, once they're in the motor you can't see them obviously, but they're nice looking pistons. As I said at the beginning there, 2 air filters on this particular build, which is unusual. This is the first car that I've seen with 2 air filters. But let's not forget all those the important clips there. I like to do those clips as I put the tops on, just so you don't forget those. Very easy to forget those clips on the air filters. Spinning around, just looking at what other parts we can get in while we're actually at the top of the motor there. Doesn't look like too many, so we'll just come back down to the bottom here. and get in what we can from the bottom. As I said before, I'd like putting as many parts in as I can in one particular section and then moving on to the next. It just saves raising and lowering the lifter all the time. Gets a bit monotonous, you know, the old up and down. So yeah, do what you can in one area and then move on to the next. Some of those exhaust components going in out with all chrome exhaust, they actually look very fantastic. Yes, quite impressed how actually they look. The wheels on, looks like they're just about everything in that particular quarter. Let's come over to this quarter here and get the suspension components on. Shockeys and springs and spring caps and lower suspension arms and inner and outer tie rods, things like that. Drive axles, and of course the brake components as well. Once we get these rubber bushes on, those pesky little rubber bushes that you tend to forget sometimes, get these brake components over the top of that and the wheel over that, and that should be just about it for this particular quarter. Bring the old girl back down and we can get most of these engine components stored away. Those pistons that I spoke about are nice looking pistons actually. I do like. I reckon that'd be even nicer if they were just chrome lined somewhere. Yeah. Oh wow! Look at that manifold there. I think it's got an exhaust system. It's an exhaust manifold, of course, but it's actually got a turbo attached to the exhaust manifold. Even though spark plugs have red tinges, and just a nice touch that makes them, so it just sets them apart from the standard parts. Of course, part of the performance parts that you can purchase from your shop. Oop, looks like I forgot one of the parts there. I just have to flick over to the shop and buy. Was it one more of those by the looks of it? One more cam? Yep, it was too. Obviously, didn't quite purchase enough of those cams to finish the build, but we'll get these front components on. All these rollers, always fun. I think there's 8 or 10 of those. I think there's 8. Oh goodness, off the top of my head I should know this. 8 A's and 2 B's or something like that anyway. But anyway, you purchase quite a lot of those. There's that other exhaust manifold. Isn't that a good looking exhaust manifold? All chrome to match the rest of the exhaust system. Let's get this engine head cover on now, and we should be getting close to completing this particular area of the engine here. Now while these parts are going in, don't forget, if you've got a particular build that you're stuck on, or you want to just share with me or with the rest of YouTube, just by all means post a link down in the description, guys, of your build. Look at those chrome throttles. They are good looking. It actually just sets the motor off with those chrome and red linings on the motor there with those performance parts. Actually makes the engine just pop that little bit more. And of course it does help a lot in regards to the performance of the car. But as I was saying, if you have a particular build or a repair that you'd like to share, yeah, just post me a link down in the description and I'd be more than happy to have a look at it, and perhaps give you some feedback on what you're doing well, that type of thing. It'd be lovely to be able to set up a small community of people that enjoy Car Mechanic Simulator 2015. So yeah, don't be shy, post a comment, post a link, you can just drop by and say good day. I'd love to be able to hear from you. So let's get more of these parts in with the brake components going in now. The shoes, the brakes, the calipers, and then the tyres over the top of that. That's everything on that particular quarter. Just this last quarter to go in now. Same components on this particular side of the suspension arm, the suspension components rather. Those rubber bushes there, upper suspension arms, those type of things, shockeys. Let's get those stowed away. Now it's pretty obvious by now that I've obviously sped up the footage just to get through this fairly quickly. Originally it was a 35-40 minute video, and just by speeding it up to this particular speed, then it drops it down to just about an 18-minute video, so just long enough for hopefully for you guys to actually sit through the damn thing. So 30-minute video is a little bit too long, or 35-minute video is too long to actually sit through, so I'll speed them up just so that it cuts down the time that you need to sit there and listen to me dribble on about car mechanic. Let's get that oil pan stoved in, screw it up fairly quickly, and we can just check the inventory. There's no parts left in the inventory, so that's always a good sign. Let's get the old girl back down on the ground and have a look at it. Now, of course, we're not going to go very far at all without putting some oil in it, so we'll make sure it's topped up with oil. Close that hood. And there we have it. Parts condition 100%, body condition 100%, restoration bonus 38,942, with car value, very important, $125,000 and change. Let's just pop it over to the dyno room and see if we can't improve the engine. Oops, wrong one. Let's just test the engine, see what sort of horsepower it pushes out, and then see if we can improve that. 1,111 horsepower, so not too shabby at all. Let's see whether we can make some changes here. Run the test again and see what horsepower we have out of it. Well, that's interesting. Slightly less. But, I mean, you can play around with those combinations of the in the dyno room if you wish to. I don't want to bore you for too long. What I will want to do is actually take it out down the test track and see what sort of speeds we can do down the test track. Even though the horsepower did reduce slightly, just remembering you can just play around with those settings in the dyno room to improve the horsepower. Here we go in the test track. Let's kick it in the guts and see what sort of speeds we can get up to down the test track here. Look at those revs just peaking out already. First gear, second gear, still spinning away in third gear. Oh, gear changes are not that good at all actually. Sixth gear, 200 kilometers there. Seventh gear, coming up to 300 kilometers an hour in eighth gear, and the obligatory handbrake right at the end, of course. Oh, almost into the fence. We did that run in 19 seconds. We might actually even do another run, guys, just to have a look, but I'll leave you to look at this last run at your leisure. Look, I want to thank you very much for watching this entire video, guys. I do appreciate your company, and I'll look forward to your company next time.